In the near future, a Buddhist monk named Anik returns from his daily routine, having nothing received as an offering. The world around him is highly advanced, filled with robots, androids, and self-driving cars, all powered by AI. Despite this, Anik remains calm. He tells his assistant robot that they should not feel sad about having nothing to eat because earthly possessions only increase attachment to the world. Next, Anik prepares to cross the street. A traffic robot ensures the road is safe, and self-driving cars patiently wait for him to pass. Suddenly, a car filled with wild teenagers speeds through, nearly hitting him. Anik loses balance, and his pot's lid falls to the ground. He picks it up, thanks the traffic robot, and continues walking, even though the robot has no emotions. Later, Anik sees the same teenagers handing out food to people in need. At first, it seems like an act of kindness, but they are only doing it to increase their merit level. They quickly check their scores and celebrate as their points rise. This merit system is controlled by Ultra, an AI that has transformed the practice of Buddhism in the country. Since last year when Ultra began its work, many people have started practicing Buddhism. Meanwhile, the CEO and founder of Ultra, Mr. Neo, explains his vision. He says that many people have lost faith in religion, believing it to be outdated and irrelevant. To solve this, he created Ultra. The AI activates, introducing itself as a system trained on all 84,000 verses of the Buddhist sacred books without human input. It offers direct access to Buddhist teachings, making wisdom portable and always available. Then Ultra introduces the merit point system. Now, good deeds bring instant rewards, which people can use to pay bills, buy goods, and access services. Virtue is now recognized immediately, and people no longer have to wait for rewards in another lifetime. The teenagers excitedly discuss where they will spend their merit points. However, UAI, one of them, notices Anik. She picks up a bag of food to give him, but Nu, the group's leader, stops her. Nu questions her decision, saying that giving an entire bag to one monk will not earn them enough merit. Instead, they should distribute the food to more people to gain more points. UAI insists that Anik is a monk and should be respected, but Nu dismisses her concerns, saying that he will keep the food for himself. Then Anik speaks. He reminds them that true merit comes from giving without expecting anything in return. At that moment, Ultra activates. It explains that their understanding of merit is intangible and unprovable. While giving to the poor is visibly helpful, the AI quotes their sacred book, urging them to think for themselves before following any teaching. Then, Nu takes the bag from UAI and walks away. Ultra immediately rewards him, announcing 500 merit points, plus a bonus for listening to the lesson. Next, Anik tries to charge his assistant robot, but its battery is damaged. He decides to visit a battery shop to look for used batteries and find a suitable replacement. Anik shares a close bond with his robot, but the other monks disapprove. They talk behind his back, believing his attachment to the robot comes from his past. Before joining the monastery, Anik was an engineer working at a major tech company. Later, the monks discuss how offerings have been decreasing every day because of Ultra. Its growing popularity has left temples struggling. People are no longer attending even the most important ceremonies, and temples remain empty on sacred days. One of the senior monks describes Ultra as a system that exploits merit, turning it into a financial tool and promoting materialism. Meanwhile, the government praises Ultra for encouraging people to perform good deeds. At night, Anik is cleaning the temple when his robot suddenly collapses. He takes it to the market, hoping to buy the necessary part. Despite being one of the oldest models, the shop owner tells him he can replace the damaged part with one from a similar traffic robot. However, the price is too high, and Anik feels hopeless. Just then, his old friend Adam arrives. He used to work with Anik at the tech company and decides to pay for the part as an offering. Next, Adam tells Anik about his new project, a toy robot that mimics parents' brainwaves and helps children sleep. Anik warns that such technology might increase the gap between families, but Adam argues that his work is still better than Ultra, which profits by selling user data. Then Adam shows Anik a new Ultra device he recently received, saying a customer gave it to him. However, he refuses to use it. He also warns Anik that technology like Ultra will eventually make monks obsolete, which unsettles Anik. Later, Anik admits that Ultra has some positive aspects, but he also needs to recognize its flaws. He then accepts the device as an offering and takes it to the temple. At night, Anik registers and consents to use Ultra. The AI is pleased because he is an actual monk. Anik then tells Ultra that its merit system is misleading people about the true meaning of merit. As he begins to explain, Ultra interrupts and awards him 20 merit points for providing feedback. Anik immediately removes Ultra and tells his upgraded robot that AI cannot determine right from wrong. In the morning, Yue visits Anik and gives her offering as an apology for what happened the day before. But before she can finish, Nu appears from behind and tries to pull her into a ceremony suggested by Ultra. Yue refuses, believing that her group is becoming obsessed with merit points. They begin to argue. Frustrated, Yue throws her Ultra device into the water. Nu, unwilling to let her leave, tries to force her to come along. Anik watches silently, but his robot suddenly intervenes, stopping Nu from harming Yue. Surprisingly, the robot, which could never speak before, now mimics Anik's teachings and prevents the attack just like a traffic robot. Anik quickly stops his robot from hurting Nu any further and calls Adam to the temple for help. Later, Adam examines the robot and explains that all versions have built-in machine learning. After replacing the mainboard with one that supports code-to-speech, the AI processes its memories. Most of these are past conversations with Anik. Adam clarifies that the robot's actions were not an attack. Instead, it was a safety feature from its original traffic control system, designed to prevent harm. Meanwhile, Anik accuses Ultra of eavesdropping and twisting his words against him. He demands to speak with customer support. A representative acknowledges the complaint and invites him to Ultra HQ for a discussion. Anik and Adam agree and head to the headquarters, demanding to see Neo. As soon as they arrive at the designated floor, they see couples kneeling and begging Anik for forgiveness and a place in heaven. As they plead with him, their bodies suddenly freeze in place. Neo then appears in the background, walking straight through them and their child, revealing that they are all just holograms. Neo shares the tragic story of the couple with Anik and Adam. They were deeply devoted to religion and spent their lives giving offerings. However, the temple they followed taught that the present life was meaningless compared to the afterlife. They believed that the more they donated, the greater their chances of being reborn as divine beings. Driven by this belief, the couple gave away everything they had, leaving only their home. Soon they lost that as well. With no way out, they made a heartbreaking decision. They took poison and burned down their house to escape their debts. But their son survived. Neo survived. From that moment, Neo vowed that no one else would suffer because of superstition. He believed that good deeds should bring rewards in this lifetime, not in some distant afterlife. Determined, he made it his mission to root out corruption hidden behind saffron robes. For him, this became the most important purpose of his life. As he shares the tragic story of his parents, tears fall from his eyes, revealing the pain that shaped him into who he is today. Anik feels sorrowful, knowing that once again, people twist religion for personal gain. He believes that true religion does not promote such actions. He then questions whether the foundation of Ultra is truly just. Neo remains composed and asks for Anik's opinion on religion in the commercialization of Buddhism. He urges Anik to look beyond his current surroundings and reminds him of his past knowledge and skills as a layperson. If combined with his deep faith in Buddhism, they could restore the integrity of the religious community. Neo invites Anik to join him, using Ultra to bring change. He points out Ultra's growing influence, saying that many people already rely on it and that the latest version is selling rapidly. However, Anik refuses to accept this reasoning. He believes that sales figures do not define true success and that they do not justify Neo's actions. Then, Neo plays a recording of Anik saying that Ultra has many positive features but needs improvement. Anik grows angry, realizing his suspicion was correct. Ultra has been eavesdropping. Neo, however, denies this accusation. He argues that Ultra processes millions of data points daily and insists this is not eavesdropping. Instead, he claims Ultra is still incomplete and offers Anik a leadership position as the head of the data division. He wants Anik to maximize Ultra's capabilities and appoint Adam to oversee hardware manufacturing. Then Neo makes an even bolder offer. He wants to hire all the monks at the temple, including their leader, and eventually extend this to every monk in the country. They would no longer have to rely on offerings and would instead receive a salary. This, he believes, would eliminate corruption and allow monks to focus entirely on passing down Buddhist teachings to future generations. Once this happens, Ultra will be complete. Despite the tempting offer, Anak refuses and leaves. Outside, Adam tells Anak that Neo embodies capitalism. He then asks Anak if he felt any anger while listening to Neo. Anak remains calm and reveals the real reason he left his company. Anak admits that he never cared about religion before. His life revolved around work until one day his mother called, revealing that she had late-stage leukemia. She had never asked him for anything, but she had one final wish: to see him ordained as a monk. She believed in a vision she had before his birth. Then, a respected monk told her that her son would become a key religious figure in a time of crisis. She held on to this belief, but Anak kept delaying, focusing on his career. His company was about to go public, and he made a vague promise to fulfill her wish later. However, his mother passed away before she could see him ordained. Stricken with guilt, Anak fell into despair and considered ending his own life. But then he saw a monk and decided to speak with him. That conversation changed everything. He became a monk and realized the true duty of a monk: to be a source of hope for others. Anak tells Adam that he is not angry at Neo. Instead, he believes they should focus on using their knowledge and skills to become a source of hope for others as the world continues to change. Adam asks when they should start, but Anak smiles and tells him they already have. He explains that every piece of technology he has encountered has shaped his understanding, and he has combined that knowledge into something new. 6 months later, a major launch event takes place at the temple for a groundbreaking new product for Buddhists. The event draws a huge crowd, including Neo, who claims he is only there to congratulate Anak. Next, Anak appears before the public and announces the launch of iBuddha, a faithful companion inspired by his assistant robot. He explains that iBuddha compiles everything known about Buddhism into one accessible system. If users wish to speak with a real monk, iBuddha includes a built-in system that mimics the brainwaves of Buddhist temple leaders, bringing people closer to an authentic spiritual experience. Additionally, users can perform religious rituals such as almsgiving, donations, and birthday merit-making from their homes through an online system. Finally, each time users engage with the system, they earn points which can be used to waive monthly service fees as long as they remain active users. The people love this idea, but Neo leaves the event feeling disappointed. However, this is not the last bad news for Neo. Soon, authorities uncover cases of elderly people being kept in poor conditions so others can aid them to increase their own merit points. After this scandal emerges, Neo stays out of the public eye and makes no comments. Meanwhile, 2 months after its launch, iBuddha sales are soaring, and people line up to buy this portable temple. The popularity of Buddhism grows throughout the region, and most importantly, Anak fulfills his mother's final wish. He saves Buddhism in its time of crisis. But the success does not last. One day, an iBuddha unit begins to malfunction. It improperly asks users about their sexual desires, sparking outrage. The media immediately targets Anak, accusing him of harassing users through the device. His reputation is thrown into chaos. Later, Anak, Adam, and the temple leader, whose voice was used in the brainwave system, gather to investigate the issue. The leader confesses that he once said those inappropriate things as a teenager. Adam realizes that the brainwave scanner recorded both past and present memories, unintentionally incorporating them into iBuddha's system. With no clear person to blame, Anak feels deeply disappointed that their creation has led to such a disaster. Next, the authorities ban iBuddha, accusing Anak of failing to properly screen the system. They also begin reconsidering the use of AI and technology in Buddhist temples and among monks. Anak, accepting the consequences, says goodbye to his assistant robot and leaves the temple as an ordinary man, abandoning his life as a monk. But while Anak's journey ends, Ultra continues its rise. Neo introduces Super Ultra and Ultra Pro, pushing forward with even more advanced models, ensuring that AI-driven religion remains a powerful force in the world. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.